only wants what is best for us. She is a being of light who extends her love in the most subtle of blessings, whether it be just talking to the right person at the right time to answer a question that you had for her, or it be you getting that understanding that you've always wanted from a certain text that allows you to really unravel reality in a whole new way after asking her or after really thinking about her in conjunction with a certain insight or a certain scripture. Now, when we truly look at Kali Ma, we see that a lot of her imagery is very harsh. But every single part of her imagery represents something, as I've talked about in past videos. With her multifarious arms, she cuts away different degrees of ignorance, different kinds of ignorance in ourselves, in her children, so that we may move on past our fears and desires and dismantle our ego. Now, when she has that head in her hand with the blood pouring out, that represents both a demon and irregular action with one's soul. What do I mean by that? An action taken by oneself that does not align with one's soul's upward journey. Reckless actions. And the heads of reckless actions, not people, but the reckless actions that can sometimes be described as demons, is represented by the head that she severs and the blood pouring out into the bowl, and then she drinks the blood. So she drinks basically the fruit juice of the sacrifice that we gave to her, as far as a certain desire or fear or reckless action. She drinks that and is nourished by helping us. She helps us and nourishes her own kind of domain in a way. She is nourished. Our mother is nourished by all the ills that she slays in us, and we become greater and stronger. And this makes her. This is her being. This is kind of what feeds her in a way. But she doesn't want to be fed necessarily. It's just that she enjoys helping us towards perfection, towards moksha, towards liberation. And as she does this, she seems hard through her imagery. She seems hard through some of the lessons that she teaches us, like the harsh lesson that I've had to come to terms with, in that I have wanted a certain kind of romantic relationship for a while, but it's mainly I'm looking for a spiritual person, but there's still that physical aspect that I want in a relationship. So there's this kind of secondary purpose for me looking for a romantic relationship. And this is one instance in which I've asked her many times, and she basically has been saying, no, you have to be completely pure in your intentions. Of course you can have sex, but it has to be more towards the spiritual side. And really, I am looking, about 70% of me is looking for a spiritual woman, and about 30% of me is just looking for a physical relationship. So it needs to be a bigger margin towards looking for a spiritual woman. So that is something for me personally that I've realized that the Divine Mother will not give me after I asked her many times, because this is a hard lesson I need to learn. I need to focus more on spirituality. And she can be hard in those instances. It can feel like she's working against us, when in reality she's working for what's best for us. And but she always has a soft spot for all those trying to ascend, trying to reach moksha. And she might teach us hard lessons like the one I just described, or even much harder ones for a lot of people. But she is always doing it for our benefit. So thank you very much for watching. I've included a ritual here, of course. I'm accompanying this video with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of y'all have a great day. We are very bold in addressing the gods and trying to get everything that we want through prayer, through offering, through begging, without realizing that a lot of what we want we have to sacrifice. A lot of what we want is based on fear and desire in a way that will inhibit our ascension towards the perfect soul that we're always meant to be, towards moksha, towards enlightenment, towards complete liberation from this material form that we are all on the journey to reach. And karma and following the laws of dharma is pulling us towards that ascension. And a lot of the time we don't want to be liberated completely from this world right away. We want to have, even spiritual people, we want to have, this and that, and then be spiritual the rest of the time, or be spiritual in other ways, and not give up every single desire or every single fear that we have. And that's understandable. I do that as well. But we can't expect the gods, especially a goddess like the Divine Mother Kali Ma, who really is, I think of as like the female half of God, the fierce warrior mother half of God, very, very much above demigods, as most gods are. And really the power of creation, the creationary aspect in creation to maintain itself, to kind of renew itself again and again and again. That's what Kali Ma is. She is the power, but also the purpose behind creation. Now, Shiv is the will in creation, kind of behind creation, but she is kind of the purpose in creation. She draws us towards trying to see what we don't want to see, trying to understand what is difficult to understand, and trying to observe ourselves beyond this material body, beyond our material desires and material fears. Observing ourselves for who we truly are, the soul that is not bound by all these wants, cravings, and aversions, and preferences, and all the angers we associate to people we don't like, or groups we don't like, and self-identity with the groups that we consider ourselves as a part of. There is a person behind all that, the Atman, the true self, the true identity behind all of that is what Kali Ma, and karma is often considered much lower than the power of Kali Ma. And it is because she basically can wield karma and wield all these natures, this restlessness or this darkness or this purity, to try and drive our path if we allow her, if we want her to, only if we want her to, towards a degree of liberation that we do not understand, that we will understand, but only if we allow our mother, the Divine Mother Kali Ma, to pull us in the direction with her kind of light essence that she sparks within us. The light of the soul within us is what she connects with, and then she extends her own light and shows us a path, and all we have to do is follow our own soul to work towards the Divine Mother Kali Ma. And then these lessons that she's trying to teach can be very hard, are most of the time very hard, because the hardest lessons teach the deepest truths. And there is always also this softness about her. She will always be a mother. She only draws us towards the spiritual path because she is a mother who wants us to progress, who wants us to understand, and wants us to see ourselves for who we are, as she sees us. She wants us to see ourselves as she sees us, and this is why she does all that she does. And it's even hard to call her just a she, or even imagine that she's just a goddess. She is this primordial force, but also this very intricate thread in all that exists in reality that always connects to everything else in a very certain way. And even those who do not look up to the Divine Mother Kali Ma are often pulled by her in a certain direction, not because she wants to get rid of your own freedom of choice or try to make you worship her, but because she wants to guide everybody towards the best version of themselves so that they can see their true self. So there's a softness. The softness and hardness of Kali Ma is hard to understand because she is both warrior and mother, and she is an intrinsic part of the whole. In Hinduism, everything is a part of God. She is a very big part of God. If we were gonna, analyze this by terms that don't exist ultimately, but help us understand the reality of infinity behind this very limited form, this very limited reality we find ourselves in. There's a deeper and vaster and infinite reality and being just behind everything, and she is a very large part of that. She influences us here and pulls us towards what we were always meant to be, who we were always meant to be, and time itself. She's called Kali because she's conqueror of time. Kal is time. Kali means conqueror of time. She conquers time, and she pulls us away from the idea that we are limited within this lifetime. within this time frame, that time itself is what kills us, that is not what kills us. Perseverance is immortality. Negligence is death. True death has nothing to do with time, has nothing to do with the aging of the body. True death is continually choosing madness and corruption and pain and selfishness and ego, anger, and allowing it to drag us down to the depths of ourselves that is a bottomless pit, should we choose to fall in. We can always pull ourselves up from the pit, but a lot of us choose to follow selfishness, and it just continues and continues. And she is that arm, that lighted arm that comes down into the pit, just begging for us to take her hand. Take the hand of the Divine Mother Kali Ma. This is what I urge you. And even if you don't call her the Divine Mother Kali Ma, you might call the Divine Mother warrior aspect of God something else. Take the hand of your mother and be pulled up towards the light. Thank you very much.